Hello creative minds, welcome back to the channel. Let's draft this and sew together this pant with half elastic and half band. This is the end result and this is how it looks on me. This is what you're getting after the pattern and sewing of this. So first of all, we're going to draw a starting line, and from there you're going to place your hip measurement divided by 4 on the starting line. You're going to place your crotch length measurement on that. To get your crotch length, sit on a flat surface and then place your tape rule from your waist where your pants start from to the surface, and that is how you get your perfect crotch line. Now on the crotch line, you're going to divide your lap measurement, your round lap measurement, by 2, and then you're going to place it there. Now on that, I'm going to come out from the edge by 2 inches because I have a big butt. But if you're on the normal size, you're just going to come out by 1 or 1.5. Now we're just going to connect that to the crotch line. So from the starting line, we're going to take our full length of the short, and then we'll add 1 inch for our hem allowance. Now you're going to do the same thing on the other part as well. Now we're going to divide what we have on our crotch line, which is our lap, by 2, and on the midpoint you're going to note that like this, and then you're going to note whatever you have divided by 2, you're going to place it on your hem line as well, and then you mark it. Now we're going to connect that straight. So now what you want your round hem line to be, whether free or tight, your measurement divided by 2, and then place it on each part of this straight line, and then you add your sewing allowance on both sides. I added 1 inch on both sides for the sewing allowance. So now on this other side, which is going to be like your hip side, you're going to use a curved ruler, but I ended up using a straight ruler because I want it to look perfect. Just like this. Now this is how you're going to tilt the ruler to get this hem line. And this is what we have. We're going to cut this out and then use this pattern to cut our back panel. We're still going to amend this pattern to cut out the front pattern, the front piece rather. Now this is what our pattern looks like, and now on the center front you're going to come down by 1 inch and then connect it to the side front just like this, and then we'll cut that out. So I just labeled it front piece, but then we're going to use it to cut out the back piece first of all. So now placing it on our fabric, make sure you have enough space on the top. So I went up by 2 inches. You can go ahead and do 2.5 if you have a bigger butt or hip, but if you have a normal hip like 35, you should just do 1.5. It's okay. So I'm just going to pin that down so that we'll have an accurate pattern, and I will just cut that out. That is what we need for the back. So now bringing the pattern back for the front use. Now you're going to place your waist measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch of sewing allowance, and then you use a curved ruler to connect it to your hip, to the hip. Now this is what we have. Now you're going to trim that out. So this is our front pattern, and then we'll go ahead to cut it out on the front piece. This is what it looks like. So I'm just going to trim out the side because I cut the front and the back together. Now this is what it looks like. So now let's go ahead to cut out the pocket. I'm using the length of 12 inches for this pocket. So this is what I'm doing. I folded this material into 4. Just watch and see what I did there. So we have 12 there, and then the wideness of it is going to be 8 inches. Then I added 1 inch for the stitching, which makes it 9 inches. So we have 9 wide, and then 12 for the length. Now I'm just going to cut that out just like this. Now you're going to bring the front pattern of your short, and then you place it the way you see me place it, just like this. Make sure the side of the edge is equal with the pocket, and then pin it down. Now we're going to trim off the top to make it equal with the pocket, and then the side going to the hip to make it equal with the pocket. And that is how you get your perfect pocket. So now from that, I'm going to measure first of all 2 inches or 2.5 for the opening of the pocket. I did 2 inches for the opening of the pocket, and then you're going to slant your tape rule like this and get 7 inches. So you're going to notch on those points. So now this is what we have. So now you're going to mark 1/2 inch from your crotch up to your waist, and then stitch it down. But I stitched it down, then I later went ahead to open up about 8 inches to 8.5 because I added a fly zipper to it. After stitching it down, you're going to open it up and then bring your pocket to add your pocket to it. Now you're going to open your pocket just like this. See the way I did it, and flip it that way. Place it on it, and then sew down slantly on those notch area. Just those spaces I marked right now. Just going to sew it down, and then top stitch on the excess. After which you're going to open it up like this, and then stitch the side of the pocket just like this, and then you have your pocket. So now this is what we have after doing that. So now we're going to bring our back pieces and then go ahead to stitch down by 1/2 inch to the crotch line. After which you're going to open up and then stitch the 2 sides just like this, and then stitch the hip side together on both sides. Now after stitching, this is what we have it looking like. So now the next thing is to stitch down the crotch line by half of an inch as well. So after stitching, this is what you'll be having it looking like. So now let's do the fly zipper. I have 8 inches here, and I've gone ahead to cut out this. You can see the top of this we have 2 inches, and on the down part we have 1.5, and it is cut on fold. So now we have this other one which is the same length, and then we have it 2.5 inches wide. So now first of all, we are going to just watch what I'm saying, what I'm doing here. We're going to stitch down this way. Notch it and open up, iron, and then cover it up. So now you're going to open the 1/2 inch you iron in, and then you're going to place it like this and then stitch it down. So now we're going to top stitch on the flap itself, just like this. Now you're going to open that up and place your zipper, and then by the edge you're going to sew your zip on it. So this is what it will be looking like after sewing it. Now you're going to place the other one. The part which is smaller is going to be the one down. So now I'm just using a pen to highlight where the other one stops. So we don't have one. So we don't have it not equal at the end. So now you're going to stitch that down. Make sure that is the zip is over the clothes. I hope you understand my explanation, but this is how it will look like. Just watch what I'm doing and then replicate. Now we're going to place our main fabric on it, our main piece, and then stitch on it, and now our fly zipper is ready. So now let's go ahead and top stitch the other side. Make sure you note where it stops under. So now I'm going to use a chalk to mark it round, just like this. If you place your hand on it, you feel where it ends under. So now you're going to stitch. So now this is what it looks like. Next is let's attach our waistband to it. So this waistband is 4 inches wide, and then the length of our round waist is what I cut out, and then I added an interface to it. So I ironed down 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to sew from inside out, just like this. Make sure you have excess to cover up the band. Now we're going to bring that out, and then note on the midpoint, on the side rather, on the both side, because we're going to add a band to it. What I have as my half, as a half of my waistline, I'm going to deduct 4 inches from it and then place it on the side, one of the side, just like this, and stitch down the elastic. Now on the other side, I'm going to open it up and then drag the elastic, making sure it's just like this, and then I'm going to stitch it down. So now let's start, and to cover it up, you're going to open it up just like this from the beginning of the band and then stitch down the side, which is excess. You're going to turn that inward just like this. Now you're going to cover up your band and then stitch down. When you get to where the elastic is, you're going to keep drawing the elastic while you stitch down. That will give you your half elastic and half band. Now we're going to do the same thing we did at the beginning of sewing this band to the end of it as well. You turn it in and then you stitch the rest of the band. And then after hemming, this is what it looks like. If you follow this process, you have this exactly. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This is how it looks on me. If you want to see the way I cut the shirts, I will sew the shirts as well. Check out the next post.